We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
All right, this is episode 119.
It sure is.
119. All right, what do you got?
Oh, okay. All right, dude. First of all, it's a recommendation.
A recommendation from who?
From me. You need to watch that show Waco on Netflix. Because I know you know almost nothing about this.
And I don't watch shows.
No, but it's a real thing that happened right down the road from here. You know where Waco is. It's not right down the road. It's a couple hours.
Waco is right down the road.
A couple hours.
Yeah.
It's down a road. Like a road leads to Waco.
We were in Waco about a month and a half ago when I went on my trip.
Oh, yeah, when you were spreading your disease all over the world?
My coronavirus trip.
I bet you could take like a map and like map out where you went and there's just like, that's where all the cases are. Anyway, you're just crop dusting it across America. Anyway, so do you know what happened in Waco?
No. I seen like a shooting.
When I say Waco, like, it's crazy.
When I think Waco?
When somebody says Waco, what's the first thought you have?
That husband and wife. Yeah, the husband and wife that do like home renovations.
Ugh.
Yeah, my wife fixer-upper or something like that, or
I like that fixer-upper. She's pretty hot.
Something, you know what I mean?
She's got a dorky-ass husband.
Yeah, I know.
Her husband looks like if you tried a little harder and weren't funny.
Okay.
You know how a lot of people look like you?
People are like, hey, maybe he's trying, maybe he's not, but funny.
I mean, he's like Goofy, the husband on there.
Yeah, well, he's corny. That's what I mean.
It sells.
If he was like us on there, they wouldn't have a show.
Oh, dude, he wouldn't have his wife.
You know what I mean?
A chick like that, don't stay with a dude like that.
No.
Because she's. But you know what's weird about those people? I'll get back to what I was bringing up. Yeah. The listeners are like, every listener knows what I'm getting at, except you.
I have
You're like, a fixer-upper show. Like, no.
That's what I think of as Waco.
It's the opposite of that. Anyway.
The Waco Kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would accept that.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that chick is hot, and her husband's a dork. But anyway, so Waco, back in like 93, I want to say.
Yeah, I thought this was fresh news.
Well, the show just came on Netflix.
Okay.
But anyway, back in 93, there was this like religious cult kind of a thing.
In Waco?
In Waco, yeah.
Okay.
They were wacko. That's like, that joke had to
be. Were the Waco Wackos?
They were
the Waco Wackos?
And here's the crazy thing. I have a really like deep psychological connection to this. For one thing, I watched this shit unfold on TV because I was 10. I remember seeing it on the news, and I was like, I think it was maybe... I was watching the Netflix show about it, and I told my wife, I had like this eureka moment. So what happened was there was this like religious cult, and the ATF and the FBI like fucking surrounded them, and it was like a siege, and they attacked them and shot. Now,
they killed a bunch of people?
A bunch, yeah. Like 100 people died or something.
A bunch of wackos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, they were crazy people. But if you can get killed for being crazy, like, duck, you know? Mm-hmm. But I told my wife, I was like, it's all coming together for me now. I've always had... And people used to think this was something I said, like I was like a tough guy thing. But I've had like an aversion to like authority. Mm-hmm. Like if I see the cops like beating, like doing something, everybody around here, you know, when the cops like shoot a black guy.
Yeah.
Most people we know are like,
oh, what was the black guy?
What
doing?
was he doing? Yeah.
What was he doing? Why did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably deserved it.
Yeah, but me, it's not even about like.
If it was a white guy that did it, right?
Yeah.
Then I'd understand.
But I always had this I never just took it for granted that teachers were right. I didn't believe it when the preachers told me shit. When I'd see the president on TV,
white guy, what guy, black guy, that guy.
Yeah, but to me, it didn't matter if it's just always the authority like putting their hand down on you. Always irked me. I never liked any of that. Teachers telling me what to do, parents telling me what to do. I just naturally take the opposite road. It's my favorite baseball team wasn't the local one. My favorite football team wasn't the local one. Everybody was patriotic and saluting the flag. I've never done it. It's just like, I don't understand why.
Police officers, right? Police officers, they just don't understand.
Yeah. I get pulled over by the cops when I was younger, and I would just sit there eating my food while the cops talking to me, rolling my eyes, fucking throw my wrapper at his feet. I just always had this disdain for, and I still do. And I think it's because...
Your pants were sagging, you know?
No,
you'd have your boxers all hanging out.
Well, I had never went that far. I remember my pants sag all the time, but it's just...
You had your Glock hanging out the side?
I don't have a Glock. I wish I did. Anyway, but I think it's because I watched this shit on TV, because I remember being a kid, and I see these tanks going at this house. Mm-hmm. And I was like...
Was this going on the same time as, like, the OJ stuff?
Yeah, it was like around the same time. Maybe a little before that.
So it's just these like...
the news...
cult?
it was a cult. So what it was like, it was called the Branch Davidians. And so David Koresh was their leader. And he was like a messiah or something. So like God spoke to him. And you know what God always tells those guys?
Yeah, fuck chicks.
Fuck young pussy. Young pussy, specifically. It's always funny. It's like, I think they're just getting it mixed up. Everybody has a voice in their head being like, oh, you should fuck that girl. She's hot. They think it's God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have that voice. You see a chick with a nice ass, you're like, oh, I'd like to fuck her. If you in your head think that's God.
The voice that says, don't do it is God. Right?
Exactly.
I think that's the devil.
Exactly.
Right?
Look on your other shoulder.
Right?
But, so he had this cult.
Look, the devil made me do it. It should be Jesus made me do it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, to this dude.
He's sitting there, he's like, what would Jesus do? Right?
Like, Jesus ain't passing up on that ass.
Yeah.
But he had like 20-something wives. And like one of them was 14. Or I guess she was 14 when he married her. Which, it's alright. That sounds bad.
Jesus turns that bald pussy into a hairy pussy. He's like, fuck this water and wine shit, right?
Jesus puts the grass on the field.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he had this little cult, and there was like 100 and something people at it. And it seems like it was a pretty...
That's a pretty good size cult.
Yeah, he had like this big compound.
I wonder what,
huge house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's nice. Well,
compound.
Well, they always call it a compound because you got a lot of families like living in one. You know, they're compounded. I guess because you wouldn't say like your house is a house, but if like 40 of your closest friends also lived with you, it'd be a compound, and you're fucking all their wives.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Do you have 40 friends with hot wives?
No.
See, you're not charismatic. If you were him, just look at the dude. If you look at like picture, like video of David Koresh, you're like, yeah, I get it. He has like a little, like kind of like wild, crazy eyes. I could see people thinking he was onto something.
Like the Charlie dude, Charles Manson.
Yeah, but Charles Manson was a little more like it's to me, it's
still alive.
It's a little crazy that people followed him. He seemed like out of his goddamn mind, like completely.
Yeah.
But this dude seemed like he had.
What was he in it for? Fucking chicks?
Charles Manson?
Yeah.
It's all fucking chicks, dude.
It is, right?
It's all fucking chicks, and that's the thing. That's what if you ever If you ever wonder, like how, like...
Well, they're just nerds in school, and they're just
I think so. I think what it was is like, nobody got laid as much as they wanted in school. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe a few people, but those people turned out to be garbage, because they had no, like...
I haven't started killing anybody yet, though.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, you can't kill people.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you... Okay,
you want to bet?
Yeah. So let's say, like, you grow up, like most kids, a lot of the prettiest girls won't talk to you and shit like that, right? Like, almost all guys are like that.
Okay.
So, and then you get older, and you just have, like, you have, like, charisma or something. Like, so some people have that. I don't have it at all. I have no charisma. You have more than I do, but not, like, people aren't drawn to you. You know how there's some people that, like, people are drawn to them, they have that charisma naturally? Okay. So you never got laid, or didn't get laid enough, or whatever, and then you're in your 20s and 30s, and you have that, and you're, like, you're somewhat religious or grow up around it, and you find out that angle where it's like, look, I could just say, they're like, look, there's all these stories of people like God spoke to Moses, God spoke to this and that, and it's like, what if God spoke to me? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you say, like, God's talking to me. There's enough fucking church chicks that are like, impressed or whatever, and then you just start fucking them, and then one thing leads to another, and there's fucking tanks knocking your house down. It's, seen it 1,000 times.
So, was this big, like, brawl?
Well, here's what happened.
There's just like cops show up, and there's just like if you watch the Netflix show,
you
don't get that now because it seems like cops and SWAT and Army and stuff have it all like figured out, and it's like a plan. When they get there, they're gonna like, all right, we all go real quiet through the yard.
Well, they fucked it up so many times.
We hammer down this door, and then all of a sudden, like DEA shows up or SWAT shows up with like 20 guys, and they storm the house.
Well, they fucked it up so bad so many times in the 90s, somebody just had to sit down and like, we need to have like a meeting.
It seemed like in the 90s, maybe.
Like, we've killed a lot of kids.
They show up, they stand out in the yard in a line, right?
Yeah.
Like with like muskets.
Yeah.
Right?
They line up.
And then the other people stand up and they fire.
In front of them, like, fire. It seems like used to they would serve search warrants by like taping them to a cannonball and shooting it through your house. But so what happened with this was, if you watch the Netflix show, it is very sympathetic towards the cult members. It makes you side with them a lot, right? But I always did, because I was a kid when I saw it. And when I saw it, I saw on the news this big house, and these agents shooting at it, and bullets coming from the house.
Agents?
Yeah, ATF agents and FBI agents. The ATF was the ones that did all the shooting initially. But so they're lined up out there with guns, machine guns and pistols, and shooting at the house. Mm-hmm. And there's bullets coming from the house. And the cult won the battle. The first battle.
007, right, is an agent. But if they go by a 3-digit number code, it's only going to give them 999.
I bet they don't have
very
many
1,000
agents.
If you count 000.
I don't think they have that many agents.
007.
Why did they pick 007?
That's like an employee ID number.
011.
So they got, he was the 7th one?
No. It doesn't mean that there can only be 3. It means that his...
It's not that there can only be 3. What I'm saying is there's triple digits.
I know, but I'm saying that maybe his is just 3 digits.
What do you mean? Well, then there would be a 4th digit.
No, because they're all
quadruple.
Different. They're trying to throw off the fucking bad guys. They can't all have, like, very similar codes. They're all different. One guy's like 1494.
Yeah.
He just didn't get the movie because that doesn't roll off the tongue. No. 007 rolls off the tongue. 008, I guess it does. You just never have heard it.
They're like, Agent 569.
Yeah.
Right?
They go knock on his door. He's having 569s somehow. He's got like one girl. He's 69 in like feet.
When someone says something about agent, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, agent.
No, let me get your State Farm agent. Like he's sitting over there with a gun.
They got
and he's got you know what I mean?
They got a bunch of bunch of insurance salesmen shooting at this house.
Yeah.
They're all wearing khaki shirts. The cult guys are like, I don't. Should we shoot back or?
He jumps out of an airplane,
they fucking propel
parachutes down to
Yeah. The fucking Geico lizard is like sneaking in. He's got a bomb. Anyway,
I don't know if he's an agent. I think he's just a spokesman.
Caveman.
Right. I think.
Flo.
He's more of like Bosley.
Yeah, Flo from Progressive. She's a agent. I mean, she's not. She's an actor.
That chick.
Dude, that chick has...
A couple weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, we talked about the dudes off the Sonic commercials, right? And how they've gotten older and then maybe replaced by these country people or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I finally saw the commercial. It's horrible.
Oh, God.
But, all right, so these people are in these, like, commercials that are, like, old.
Yeah, dude.
Like you just said the khakis or whatever with State Farm. There's, like, a new black guy on the commercial, but that guy's still on it, too.
Yeah, Jake.
The original, like, Jake. I guess they're all called Jake on the commercial. But, whatever, like, these people that are, like, Flo, right, has been on these commercials for a long time.
She's like a millionaire.
Like the Post cereal where it's like, we gotta feed America. That black chick.
Yeah.
Right? Those people, like, she actually, like, works there, I guess. You know what I mean? It's not like she's,
they pay her
we're like, oh, wait, she's in the next Leonardo DiCaprio movie. You know what I mean?
They pay her $12.50 an hour to do this commercial.
She plays the person that works at Post, right? He's, like, running through Post, like, chasing a bad guy or something, or he's the bad guy. And she's there, you know. Gotta save America.
Well, you know, like those Sonic guys, the blonde one or whatever, he's in movies.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen him in movies. He's in some comedy I saw a while back. It sucked.
He does seem familiar.
He's in something that sucked.
He's sitting there in a car on it, and he's just doing like...
You know the dude from...
He's reviewing food off of a menu?
Yeah, he's just going to play like...
And they're like... Sonic's like, hey, I think we can use this guy.
You know the Mayhem commercial?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
That guy, he's in the Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, he is on some... Okay.
He's in some movies.
But like Flo. I don't think Flo's going to be on a movie.
Nah.
You know?
I mean, maybe. She's so... That's the thing is, though, those people are so recognizable...
Because of the commercial.
Is that when you put them in a movie, and they show up in a movie, it takes you out of the movie.
Yeah.
You're watching the movie, you're like, that's fucking Flo.
The Indian guy, off of...
the kind of
Deadpool?
What kind of Indian?
Like, India.
Kind you don't like?
India.
Yeah.
That guy, he is on, like, some commercials, and now he's on other, like, shows and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, those commercial people are just, I guess, like, struggling actors who then just got lucky and hit a fucking big nationwide commercial, and they ain't struggling no more. They're just like those Sonic guys are probably fucking filthy rich. Mm-hmm. I looked up their net worth one time. I don't remember, but it made me mad. Mm-hmm. Like, I made it Sonic more than they have. I don't get paid. But anyway...
Because you eat at Sonic.
Yeah. So anyway, these fucking Branch Davidians. One time, I have like
who?
Branch Davidians. It's the name of the cult. You know how I have like slippery sometimes like mental health.
Okay.
Well, one time I got stuck on Branch Davidians. It's like embarrassing to say. Like I've never even said this out loud.
The phrase?
Yeah. I just couldn't stop saying it.
Branch Davidians?
I was like, Branch Davidians, Branch Davidians. It was just, I don't know why.
Kind of like Howard Hughes did?
Yeah, it was bad, dude. I was like scared. Like,
wow.
What am I just going to keep saying this? It was like in my head. I was like,
I kind of hope it happens again.
I was like, I need to go to bed, Branch Davidians.
The end of episode 119, we'll just have that.
I need to seek help.
Right?
It hasn't happened in a while.
I'm holding you down, and I'm right, and I'm like, if you listen to this, get help. And we're the bad vibe.
But it was a while back, but it like scared me. Because I was just, I don't know what happened. I was reading something that came up, and I was just like, oh, that's got a good ring to it. Yeah. And the next thing you know, I just couldn't stop saying it. And I was like terrified that I was just stuck.
Branch Davidian sounds like it has something to do with a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think branch, there's different branches of banks. And then dividends.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So, I mean,
they're just running a bank.
It sounds like other people got kind of into this, and then that's why
they're running a bank.
Joined a cult.
They're running a bank, but they invested all their savings in young pussy.
Yeah.
But apparently, okay, here's the thing. So, let's say he was fucking like young girls. Okay. The ATF has nothing. It's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Mm-hmm. So they were like watching him for a while, and he would just go. He'd be about town and stuff, and he'd go to the store and shit like that. So if they wanted to arrest him, they could have arrested
alcohol,
tobacco, and firearms.
So maybe he was like.
Can you imagine getting busted for tobacco?
Maybe he was like
SWAT union.
Like smoking, drinking, and like doing drugs and stuff while he was fucking chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe, but
young chicks.
You can't like smoke a cigarette while you're fucking a young chick because that just like puts an exclamation on how much older you are than her. Mm-hmm. You're like, get over here. They just say
they brought in WTF.
Yeah, right? That's what they should have brought in. These guys are fucking crazy. But I think they weren't
white chicks, right?
If you fuck white girls, yeah, that's what he was doing. Fucking white girls. Right. But, so at this time, in America, there were a lot of these militias. We talked about this a while back. Mm-hmm. These little groups that, a lot of them were racist.
Those girls were fucking crazy?
Yeah, definitely. They're probably blowing crazy, too. Yeah. But his whole thing was, at least according to the movie, I don't know his real... But he was like, he didn't fuck because he wanted to. It was like a burden.
He didn't fuck because he wanted to?
Well, that's what he would say.
He's all like...
So let's say you and your wife...
Some like hot young chick shows up, He's
just like rolling his eyes, bored.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so let's say you and your wife joined.
He's like, what do you mean you brought your 3 friends? Right?
Like, I guess I'll stick a thumb in one's butt.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so let's say you and your wife joined his cult, right? Mm-hmm. So she was your wife. Well, if she's like pretty, I guess, or what if God tells him? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure God only told him on pretty ones. So mm-hmm. Let's say your wife's pretty and you go there, then she would be his wife. And the men nobody can have sex except him and his wives.
Those other dudes can't fuck?
No.
Fuck. You ain't gonna get a lot of dudes in your
but they
club.
Did. That's what I'm saying. This dude was charismatic. People wanted to join. They're like, can't fuck, can't drink alcohol. They had to go by like Hebrew law, like old Bible shit.
They had to grow their hair out?
I don't know.
Just on the sides?
No, they didn't do that.
Right, just by their ears?
That's a weird interpretation.
Right.
Jews just did that to like look weird, to try to scare Nazis or something. But
I think that's older than that.
It is. It's definitely older.
Yeah, it's not like you know what I mean.
They couldn't.
You're gonna kill a whole bunch of us. We're gonna do what we want with our hair.
We're gonna grow weird curly hair. They're like, okay, I don't really get the connection. But no, so they couldn't drink alcohol, do drugs. They couldn't eat pork, shit like that, right? So you can't do all those.
Pork?
You can't do all those.
What was his? Why was he against pork?
Because that's religion, dude.
Because he was porking all their chicks?
Yeah, that was part of it. That was part of it. Maybe you find out somewhere that, like, pork makes young pussy smell bad or something, so he's like, do it with pork. Find something in the Bible to, like, rationalize this, but no more pork. Or asparagus. Because I like them to pee on me sometimes. Not because I want to, because God wants me to.
So is he getting these chicks pregnant?
Yeah, he had a bunch of kids.
Shit.
So, like, 20-something kids, I think.
It's the Waco kids?
Yeah, they were the Waco kids. And so anyway,
Waco kids.
So you couldn't fuck or whatever, and your wife would be, but they did have a lot of people there, and it wasn't a racist thing like a lot of them in the 90s were. He had black people, Mexicans. Yeah, there was one like weird like Chinese looking Polynesian chick.
He just wore condoms with them, right?
Her daughter's hot now,
right?
But
he just wore condoms with those, the other races. Right?
He's like, God doesn't want me to like catch anything.
Yeah.
He's like, they say I don't rub off, but
yeah.
Speaking of rub off, how much jerking off was going on in that house? Thin walls, you hear some guy plowing your wife. You're just like, I gotta get something out of this.
Yeah.
It's like watching porn with your eyes closed. So, so the ATF, they were, like, monitoring him. And for whatever reason, they didn't just arrest him. They, like, surrounded the house. And they had all their guns drawn and stuff. And they're like, whatever. So he goes to the front door. And he's like, because they don't know what the fuck's going on. They did have a shitload of guns. And that was, I think the ATF came because they had, like, gotten word that they had illegal guns or something. But fuck them. They're Americans. They can have guns. I see no problem with that.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I get it's weird that they're stockpiling guns, but that is their right. So whatever. So he goes to the front door, him and, like, this other old dude. And the official story is somebody fires a shot. They don't know who. So then the ATF thinks they're getting fired on. They fire. They hit him, the main guy, David, and his friend, who dies soon after. David's still alive. They had proof that the fucking agent shot first because the door is where the shots came from, and the metal's bent in, so the bullets came from outside. A lot of people think that the agents that went around to, like, calm the dogs down before anything went down, a dog barked at them, they shot the dog, that was the first shot. Anyway, important thing is, a fucking firefight ensues. There's people in the house fucking shooting women, whatever. Fucking leaning out the windows, shooting. It's like a multi-story.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, and see, when I was a kid, dude, what do you think? How am I supposed to be normal?
Yeah.
I see this when I'm 10 years old, 9 or 10, whatever it was. And I see these, in my mind, this is Waco, I know Waco, these Texas people fighting against the government and winning.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. I didn't know nothing about their fucking kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, he's a religious weirdo. All I see was these fucking, like, patriotic Texas motherfuckers just mowing down agents.
Videos of it?
Dude, it's on news. You can see agents getting shot and dying on the news.
Wow.
Because they like, crawl, they get these ladders and they crawl up. Because there's, like, the house is, like, built, like, real tall, like, in sections. And so they're up on, like, a roof, but there's, like, a window into the house that you can access from the roof, right? And these agents are there, and they, like, break the thing, and they're hiding like this, and the fucking people inside start shooting through the wall. Dude, it's like something from a fucking 80s movie. And this agent, like, falls over and rolls off the roof, and another one's, like, holding his leg trying to get away, and they're da-da-da-da-da. It's fucking badass. So when I'm a kid, I'm like, dude, fuck yeah. Because I didn't understand, you know? Now I'm like, there's no...
You know, nothing like that happens anymore.
No,
that's what I was saying though. It's because the military and all that.
Like, I saw it live.
The military and all that, like, just handle it. Like, they already have, like, their idea of, like, their plan, and they just show up and destroy everything.
Well, I would assume that
they do that whole, like, crouching low but running.
Yeah, they were trying that.
You know what I mean? No, but I mean, like, nowadays.
These fucking 14-year-old girls were fucking shooting. I mean, it wasn't that, but these people were shooting. But I think part of it is because that happened, and the thing at Ruby Ridge was a similar situation that made the government.
Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, it was a similar situation where they surrounded this guy's house. They ended up killing his wife while holding her baby, and his son who was like 13, and their dog.
Why?
Because he had sawed a shotgun off illegally short, and didn't show up to court.
So they shot all his family up?
So because they kept pressuring him, like, dude, you gotta go to court, you gotta go to court. Now this guy's a little less likable because he was involved.
There's got to be more to this story.
There's really not. There's really
not.
So he was hanging around some of these white supremacist groups, right? So, and they were monitoring them, and he was kind of like a rube, and I think they just figured, like,
what?
Like kind of a, like, not smart, or at least that's the way what they thought. They thought he was like kind of like a dummy.
Okay.
So they're like, he's a person connected to this group that we could probably get to. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be easy to, like, let's say, like, they get him on some charge. So what happened was, like, an agent who was...
Oh, then he goes, like, spills the beans on everything.
Something like that, yeah. So, like, say, like, an agent infiltrated this white supremacist group and was like, hey, I got these shotguns. Do you know how to saw them off? And, like, say it's supposed to be 18 inches. And they're like, can you saw them off to 12 inches? So he did. So then they have that. That's illegal. So they serve him these papers.
Why?
It's still, I don't know. It is. There's a certain length you can't saw a shotgun off. A shotgun that you own.
Because it can...
I don't know. That's what they said. Like, well, you can conceal it. Like, well, don't they make pistols the size of my palm? You know what I mean? I can shoot you with that, too.
So you shoot that, it's just going to scatter, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, the more you saw it off, the more it opens. So, like, if you saw a shotgun off illegally, like, real short, it's...
Like a pistol length.
Yeah, it's, like, effective for, like, 15, 20 yards at the most. Depending on what you're shooting.
If anything, you're kind of killing except close range.
But that's what it's for. It's for, like, home protection. Like, somebody's in your house, anywhere in your house, and you're anywhere else in your house, and you can see them, that shotgun's going to fucking, make them leave. So anyway, so they did that, and he wouldn't go to court because he was real anti-government. Like, he didn't have electricity and shit. They lived in the middle of fucking nowhere in, like, Idaho. So they kept slowly but surely. They're just like, you just need to go to court, you just need to go to court. And he wouldn't. He was, like, fortifying his house. And the next thing you know, just, like, shit went crazy, and a sniper shot his son, you know?
Holy shit.
I think shot his son, a friend of his, and his wife. His wife while holding his baby. Anyway, so this...
The baby died, too?
No, the baby didn't. Baby probably had a hell of a fall, but...
Yeah.
But so this dude ends up, when it's all over...
that dude got shot too?
The main guy didn't. That's how incompetent
God, that's a horrible fucking sniper.
It's like they shot. It's like that scene on what is it when he's trying to Mafia?
Yeah. When he keeps tasing the wrong people.
Yeah, they keep trying to get him. Yeah, it's like that. They killed everybody but him. Him and the baby, I guess. It's hard to hit a baby. Yeah. If you missed so bad that you hit his wife.
I think he was trying.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know. The sniper's just like, dude.
He thought the baby was like the main guy, right?
He's like, I need a description. Did you say this guy's 18 inches tall? Because I think I got him in my sights.
Did you say he has, wasn't there pacifier in his mouth?
His underwear seemed very puffy, and they had little hearts on them. No, so they shot, so all that shit happened. He ends up with a fine or something because he didn't show up to court. He sues for like a couple $1 million, the government, and wins.
Holy
and he should have won.
Yeah.
Man, this guy's a dickhead. Look, you're hanging out around white supremacists and shit, but you're free America. You can do that. So anyway, that had already happened like not long before, and then Waco happened. So yeah, they have a shootout.
Was that in Texas too?
No, that was in Idaho.
Oh yeah, Idaho.
So they had this big shootout, and then fucking agents are dead. A couple people on the inside are dead.
Agents. Yeah. I was like, Asians were dead. What the hell? I'm like, yeah, they're just getting anybody. That sniper's insane.
Sniper's aiming towards town.
He's got his back to the people.
So there was like video footage of the ATF guys retreating, which, like I said, when I'm a kid, I see that. Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm never gonna fucking listen to a teacher again.
Yeah.
I see these guys retreating. I'm like, I remember being a little kid, like, fist in the air, like, get them. And even my family was like, those are, like, bad people, right? And I was like, fuck it. Who's bad? They're both shooting at each other. But, so anyway, so it ends up being like a 51-day siege where the fucking FBI gets in there and they surround this fucking compound. And they're like on the phone, like, trying to talk the guy down. And he's like, he's a little nutty. And then they have these big speakers like playing loud noises, and they got lights shining. They're trying to drive them crazy.
They already were.
I know. Yeah, they're trying to drive them normal.
Yeah.
The guy's like, what am I thinking? I'm fucking a 12-year-old reading the Bible. I gotta clean my life up. But also, a lot of that they think was kind of made up to make it seem more okay with killing them. There's like a lot of evidence that he wasn't fucking kids. He did have a 14-year-old. He did have a 14-year-old wife, but come on. Who hasn't?
She was an old 14.
She was a mature 14. Because you always think when you say, like, when you hear that, you're like, you want to think, like, okay, well, maybe she's like a 14-year-old with, like, like big tits and stuff.
He's like, well, she had double D's, so I just counted her as 28.
Yeah. She had double D's, but it was in Spanish and reading. It wasn't. But anyway, so, yeah, a lot of people say they made all that. So anyway, how it ends up is on the 51st day, finally, they're just like, all right, what are we doing here?
I think they're like, all right, it's been 50 days. Tomorrow, we've got to do something.
They're like, something's got to give here. Because these people are in the house. They have no running water. They're like rationing their water in the house, like taking sips and like rationing their food and shit. But they are heavily armed. See, what happened was when they were fighting against the ATF started running out of ammo. And the fucking nutcases weren't.
They were more prepared.
Yeah. So, anyway, so 51 days comes, and they get this plan. They're going to shoot tear gas in there to, like, make the people come out. Like, there's a lot of disputes where people were saying you can't do that. The tear gas was, like, no, like, it's not legal to use in, like, warfare even. And also, there was, like, 50 or 70-something kids in there, or maybe less, because throughout this time, they were letting some kids out, like, as, like, a deal. Like, we'll let some kids out, but not his kids. So anyway, there's some amount of kids in there. The problem is they don't make gas masks to fit little kids. So when they shoot that tear gas in there, those people have gas masks, but they don't fit on kids. So what ends up happening is, and this is
kids die.
All of the kids die.
Was there a lot of kids in there?
A lot, yeah. I can't remember the number now. I want to say like 20, 30-something kids.
God, why do they have so many kids in there?
The dude was fucking...
The kids?
No, he was fucking making kids. That's
I thought you meant like he was fucking. Right?
You think at the last minute he's got his gas mask on, he's just hammering out a 9-year-old, like a 12-year-old or whatever.
Wow.
No, so they shoot they get tanks.
Mm-hmm.
This is American. This is a house in America.
And tanks are there.
Imagine my 10-year-old brain trying to figure this out. And these tanks like shove into the walls, and like the gun part of the tank like shoots gas canisters in there, and the house fills with gas. So the kids, they send the kids and most of the women down. They have like a kind of like a storm shelter underneath. Mm-hmm. It's like old school buses half buried or something.
They didn't make a movie of this.
Well, there is. That's what I watched. It's a series, but it's what I watched isn't a documentary. It's a movie type, but a series, like 7 episodes. It's very good. So anyway,
does it make you? It takes you on their side.
It kind of, for most of it, you kind of side with the Wackos, and at the end, you definitely side with. I think anybody. It's hard for me because initially when I saw this live, I sided with the crazy people, but I think you probably, when you watch it, you kind of side with them. And there's like 1 or 2 agents that are clearly like made to be good guys that are trying to, do the right thing. So anyway, the tear gas goes in. The place goes in.
The double agents?
Triple.
Right.
They're double D agents. They got a couple of 14-year-olds with knockers out there with like a little FBI hat on. That guy's like, I might come out for that.
We got some double D Asians.
I don't think that exists. So
just plastic people.
Yeah. So the house is like filling up with fucking tear gas, and the kids, they're putting wet rags over kids' faces and shit. Yeah. And I'm talking like babies and shit. And they sent them out to the bunker, and then like they end up getting, I think, well, there's a lot of different theories, but trapped in the bunker, and they die. The building catches on fire, the house.
So then the smoke gets to them too.
Some people say that the FBI started the fire. FBI says that the Wackos started the fire like it was a mass suicide. Nobody knows for sure. There's evidence that the Wackos did start the fire, but there's also evidence that they didn't. But so the whole place burns to a crisp. I mean, down to fucking nothing.
Of course, they don't want the government being wrong.
They're not going to say the government purposely started the fire. But in the movie, I never heard this before, but in this movie at the end, it says that there was like 30 cases of the government using tear gas, and the tear gas canisters started a fire in a house. Like, it happens a lot.
Like sparks from it.
Yeah, because it may like combust to make the tear gas or something. Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, the house burns to a crisp. David Koresh, the main guy, is found with a bullet wound to the head, and next to him is like his second in command, also with a bullet wound in the head. So they're thinking like that guy shot him and then himself. They said there were a few people that were dead by bullet wound and one baby dead by stabbing.
What the fuck?
Kind of, who stabs a baby?
No.
Like, who stabs a baby?
He's like, I thought it was a midget.
Right? They're like, okay.
They're like, but, right?
But I think, now it could be that they were, somebody just stabbed a baby, but I think it was like, this baby was fucking,
evil. They can tell, right? Like, I don't know, he's sitting there drinking his little bottle. He had an evil look in his eye, right? So I stabbed him.
That's not milk, that's blood. Right? Yeah, so I think it was like you're sitting there watching your kids fucking choke on their own fucking lung juice, and you just try to get it over with.
Stabbed it?
Maybe they ran out of bullets finally. But, yeah, so like 75 people died, I think.
Yeah.
Died like on that, from them, and then like 4 agents.
In 51 days.
Yeah, but mostly on that last day, and it burned down to fucking nothing. And then so like the dude who wrote a book about it a couple years later is what they based the movie on, which is why the movie kind of sides more with the fucking.
Yeah.
So he was there. He wasn't like part of the group, but he was just like chilling there, or that's what he said.
Did the other people like go to jail or something?
Nah. I mean, yeah.
The people that were in there shooting up.
I mean, I think they did, some of them for a while. I don't know, because like the main people all died. Like David Koresh would have probably went for a long time dead. Like the main people. So the dude who wrote the book, he got out like as the house was collapsing on fire. And I know he did go to jail, but I don't think for very long. And because realistically, it was self-defense. I think if they would have all, let's say before they fucking tanks like caught their house on fire, if they would have all came out and surrendered, I think it's very likely that they would have had a case of self-defense because they were on private property.
I'm surprised there's not more of this stuff in states like Texas.
It used to happen a lot,
where there's just like, you know, like, here's our guns, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're all like, sir.
Because those fucking people that wear their Second Amendment shirts are all full of shit.
There's a guy standing at the door knocking, and they're like, we ain't giving you our guns. And he's like, I'm with the census? Right? And they're like, what?
He's like, well, my Spidey sense is telling me that you were taking my guns.
He's like, ain't counting my guns. He's just shooting, right?
You count them from my cold, dead hand.
He's like, you're senseless. Right?
He's like, sir, you're not making any sense. Do you have 2 or 3 kids? That's all I need to know. And he's like, there's one of my kids. No, but those people that wear those Second Amendment shirts, they're all full of shit.
Yeah.
If that happened at their house, they would come out hands raised. I'm sorry.
What's a weird, like one of the amendments? What's a weird one that'd be funny to have on a shirt?
Well, like the teens are all about like ending slavery and stuff.
No, I mean like a funny one.
I don't know. What do you got? Like freedom of the press?
I think it would just be funny to have something, like it's my, like, how many amendments is there?
What about the one that, oh fuck, dude, I don't even, 27 or something. I don't know. Yeah. But nobody.
You always see, like, you always hear what
you hear about the first and second a lot.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, freedom of, like, to bear arms. But one of them is like, okay, so there was an amendment that made alcohol illegal.
Some of the shirts says I plead the Fifth or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the Fifth Amendment is the right to not incriminate yourself. That'd be a good one.
Right?
But what's the one? It was like the 19th or something. It was like that made alcohol illegal. And then there was another amendment after that which made it legal again. Which is funny because, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an amendment that makes it illegal. Like, we changed the laws of... We took away your freedom. And then we had to make a new law to give your freedom back. Why can't you just X that law?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know them all, like, without looking them up. But if you have a shirt about anyone except for the first and second, it'd be pretty funny. I like the fifth.
Yeah.
Freedom to not incriminate yourself. Pleading the fifth. We should have a podcast called Pleading the Fifth. We just don't talk.
Wow. It's
silence for an hour. Because realistically, if you listen to this, some of it.
Wow. I kind of like... We haven't had like a shooting, you know?
Yeah, because everybody's...
People can't be in mass groups, right?
No mass
and you don't normally hear of shootings that are under 10 people.
No.
Right?
Because we probably have been having the little shootings, right?
Yeah. It's
just you don't hear about a shoot. You don't hear about 2 people.
There's no stabbings because, people can't be within 6 feet of each other.
And it's too hard to, sanitize a knife after each.
Like, go gadget, knife, right?
Like, you stab somebody, you sanitize it. You stab the next guy, you sanitize it.
He's like, why don't you get, coronavirus?
Dude, we ordered a pizza today, and they have this, you can't get the virus pizza. Some shit like that. Yeah, I can't remember what they call it. But, dude, the fucking pizza box is, taped closed with a little thing. It's, only,
Oh,
so. And I was like, dude, this is such, making you think you're safe.
Yeah.
It's like taking your shoes off at the airport.
Pizza Hut's like, no. We're the best one in this because this is safe pizza.
If Pizza Hut, if the employees...
They do that just so they'll sell more.
Yeah, but if the employee sneezed in the box and then taped it closed, that just makes sure the corona stays in.
Yeah.
And also, dude, okay, so you know how when they deliver a pizza, it's in that big, red, soft bag thing? So he pulls it out of that, and it's our pizza boxes is also in, a trash bag.
Suit coming up to your...
No, the pizza was in a hazmat suit.
Oh,
so the boxes were in that, but the boxes were inside of plastic. And then inside that. So when I took it out, I was like, dude, these are the heaviest pizzas ever. Because it was sweating in that plastic bag, and the pizza fucking box, the lid was all coming apart. It was
what the hell?
It fucking sucked.
They're like, yeah, but you ain't got corona.
Yeah, I wish I did. I'd rather have corona than eat wet cardboard. It tastes like Domino's pizza.
Oh, shit.
This podcast is brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Now you prefer DiGiorno?
Thank God it's not delivery. I got a wet, slimy pizza box.
Oh.
You remember how they used to have that little table thing?
Cardboard in the morning, cardboard in the evening.
But you remember how they used to have that little table in the middle of your pizza?
Yeah.
So the box won't sag on it, right?
Yeah, they do that in the
They need it now, again. I'm telling you, dude, if you order a pizza...
Some Pizza Huts still do that.
I haven't seen one.
When we went on our trip, like a month and a half ago, across America...
To spread the disease, yeah.
We went to... I think it was in New Mexico. We ordered...
Nothing counts there.
And it had a little plastic table thing.
That's just because they haven't renewed that Pizza Hut in 30 years.
It was a brand new Pizza Hut.
No.
It's just... maybe like Texas outlawed it or something, They're
like, they take away our freedom of having cheese on the inside of the box.
They're like, it's our 47th Amendment.
I'll peel the cheese off my box with my cold, dead hands. Dude, I'll say this. Like, me and you are like...
That's ridiculous.
Like, people think we're like kind of like liberal faggies.
Yeah.
Because we're like... we're like not racist and we don't hate gay people.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we probably are on here, but...
I know, but, realistically, we're way more like liberal than most people we know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have that pride.
Yeah.
I still have that dumb, senseless, Texas is better bullshit. I really do. When I'm watching that Waco show, and these aren't like Texans, they just moved there because that's where their guy was.
Yeah.
But I was watching it as a 37-year-old man with responsibilities. And when I saw that agent get shot through the wall, I was like, fuck it. It was like my team scored a fucking touchdown.
Wow.
I still got that. We're sitting in a room right now, surrounded by Texas flags and shit. But the 47th Amendment.
Wow.
I like the fact that we have an amendment to take those gay little pizza tables out of our pizza pots. Fuck that shit. It is gay, though. Like, that's kind of gay.
Yeah.
There's something like sucking dick and having that little table thing in there are similar in some way.
It might have been, like, created while doing that act, right?
Somebody's jerking off a dude. You know what it was?
He turns and spits and looks up at the guy. Right? He's like, you know what they need? He's like, this little, like, 3-legged table, right? He's thinking 3 legs. Because he just got done
he's blowing a dude with a pretty good size hog.
So he's like, and the guy's like, shut up.
He looks at his naked boyfriend. He's like, you look like you got 3 legs. And then he's like, Eureka.
And he's like, shut up, let's go get some pizza.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, uh-huh.
He's like, say that again?
But the cheese is all over the box. Right?
Yeah. He's like, the cheese on the box looks like the jizz on your back. Yeah. It is gay, though. Mm-hmm. Anything that... Maybe I'm too, like, manly thinking. Like, not that I am, but just in my head, you gotta be manly. Is that I think anything that makes things, like, neat and clean is gay, you know? Like my son wipes his nose on his shirt. Mm-hmm. And...
He can still be gay.
I know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he might be gay. He's just wiping, instead of boogers, like, cum on his shirt one day. Mm-hmm. But my wife is like, don't do that, that's gross. And I just taught him to do that, because he has a runny nose a lot, like me, because we have allergies. And he'll be, like, freaking out, like, what to do with his nose. I'm just wiping on your shirt. You got a shirt right there, right? And she tells him not to, and I was like, what is he going to go get a little napkin? And I was like, dude, just man up and wipe your nose on your shirt, right? Mm. I don't know what that is. Do you have that with your kids? Do you, like, try?
Snot?
No, do you have snot?
I never know.
But do you have that with your kids, like with your son, where you, like, your expectations for what a man should be are all out of whack? Like, I know that trying to teach my son to be, like, Mr. like, manly, like, my idea of what a man is, isn't good.
Well, my son's, like, deathly afraid of spiders.
Yeah, but
I'm like, dude, it's just a little spider. Like, you know, like those little tiny microscopic spiders?
Yeah.
They're, like, little...
The kind you just smash with your finger.
They look, like, cute. You know what I mean? They're just, like, crawling. He was terrified. He will not go in a room if he knows there's one of those in there.
But do you get, like... You're like, just be a fucking man.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, just step on it or something.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think that's good. I don't think it's healthy for us to put these man expectations on our sons. Okay. I do, though.
Yeah.
Look, you know my son. He's kind of like a... In some ways, he's kind of like a macho-ish stuff. He's also like kind of like a little fairy in some ways, too. But sometimes I'll catch myself pushing.
My son is embarrassed if he's caught, like... You know, like, I have a daughter. And, yes. I mean, she's like fits and be 6 or whatever. So she plays like Barbies. She has like a Barbie house.
Yeah.
She plays with like girly stuff, like dressing up stuff. Well, I got home one day and they both come running in and they had like these stuffed animals and had like they were like dressed with like dresses on and stuff.
Yeah.
Barbies. And like they were all laughing and he looked kind of embarrassed that he had been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 8.
And
he's all like, look, and he's kind of like, I mean, there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like, don't worry, Dad, I was fingering it.
Right?
He tries to pull it out the last second.
Yeah.
But yeah, my son, he's because I go try real hard. Like, I have a brother-in-law who who he has 3 sons, and his sons or somebody will make a joke about his sons, like getting him a doll for Christmas, and he'll actually get mad. He's like, "You gonna let him play with a fucking doll?" And I'll just go the opposite way. It's like, I don't like. Why would I care if he plays with a doll?
Yeah.
Like, because the message he's sending when he gets mad at his kid for saying something about a doll is that I love you, but only if you act like a real boy.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
not like Pinocchio.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And my son, I'm just like, I love my son. You know, if he fucks dudes when he gets older, it's like, okay. I mean, I still love him the exact same amount.
Yeah.
You know, but I do feel sometimes like I put pressure on my son to be, like I said, my definition of like a tough guy. Like, my son will like barely skin his knees.
Yeah, you gotta watch out if you're doing that, because
I
you
know.
could end up in a compound shooting at agents.
Exactly. I'm proud though.
Right?
Dude, you're not telling me if you turned on the TV one day and you saw your little nephew Colin taking out agents with a fucking AK, you'd be like,
I'd be like, he's probably about to die.
You're like, I hope he's okay, but that's my boy.
He's probably about to get like shot up.
But he's taking some out with him.
Right?
You know, he's probably, fucking teenagers or whatever, but which would be weird in the other direction now because he's only 5.
Yeah.
It'd be badass if he's fucking teenager killing agents.
This is some 5-year-old teenager fucking,
I'd have
he
to
looks
call
like a
him
little
sir.
Rambo,
Yeah, I'd have to call him sir.
Yeah.
He's fucking girls fucking 3 times his age and he's killing federal agents. I mean, I can't compete with that. My best story is we robbed an apartment once.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I feel that. I feel like you maybe don't as much. Because I don't think, I don't know, but for me, it's like, I'll feel myself like put like my son, like I said, he'll skin his knee like playing outside, and have like a little scratch on his knee.
Crowds a little bit,
and he'll be like starting to fuss. And my instinct is I'm like, dude, man the fuck up. Life sucks and you bleed sometimes. What are you gonna do?
I'll do that.
I'll give him like a little speech, and then I'll start curbing it to be more like inspirational.
But see, I was more like that when I was younger too, though.
But my instinct is to be like, quit being a fucking fag, get up and finish the game, or whatever you're doing. But then I sweeten it up and I tell it and I make it inspirational. I'm like, look, dude, when you ask my son, go to my son right now, wake him up and be like, Colin, what do you do if you fall down? And he'll be like, you get back up. Because I've taught him that since he's little. But I've tried to like make it sweet, whereas my instinct is to be, get up, you fucking queer. And you can't do that because I'm going to ruin him. He's going to grow up and have like, teenage girlfriends or whatever.
He falls and he gets up and he's like, why'd you get up? He's like, 'cause I'm a fucking queer. Right? You know what I mean?
Dude, he'll say, this is something you'll like. Because I teach him stuff. I teach him, like, motivation stuff all the time. But I teach him in ways how I think of it. And a lot of my shit comes from movies and shit, My dad wasn't motivational. So I told him from Young Guns, I'm like, I'll tell him, always be the third Chinaman. And he'll say that. He said it at school one day. He was telling me. He's like, yeah, we were playing football and I guess the older kids, because he always ends up playing football against the big kids. And he's like, the big kids wanted to quit, but I told him that I'm the third Chinaman, so I'm going to finish the game. And I was like so proud, but also
they're like, but you're white. Because they don't get that
also,
reference.
Chinaman
People listening aren't going to get that reference.
Chinaman is like a racist term now.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch Young Guns, but
Chinaman.
The third Chinaman. But your kid,
why is that a race? I mean,
I think when you say Chinaman, it's like belittling. Or something. I know that you're not supposed to say it for some reason. It's better than what you call them.
What do I call them?
Take the average Asian American and say, would you rather be called a Chinaman? And they're like, oh. Or a gook. And they're like, oh, Chinaman.
No, they're chinks.
Chinks. Chinks.
Yeah.
Chinks to me seems like a...
Gooks are like Vietnamese or something?
I know, but gook just generally
they're
means...
like, no, we're Vietnamese. Right? You know what I mean?
But gook in general means, Asian-y looking people. When I say gook...
Asian-y?
When I say gook, I'm not pointing at a map. I'm pointing at a slant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you say white. White doesn't mean German. It doesn't mean Danish. It means just white. Black doesn't mean like from Kenya. Black just means, not white or brown. But,
yeah, from Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaiians are black.
Yeah.
No, but...
one of them is. Yeah,
so your kids though, it's weird with you because you're a weird kind of dad. Because you're like strict as fuck, but I felt like you just front loaded it. So when your kids were very little, you were extremely strict, and they figured it out, and then now you can just kind of sit back and they just do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see you constantly like, screaming at your kids and telling them what to do, but they just do what they're supposed to. It's
how you say things.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Also, I think my kid just is a more energetic person than your kids. Mm-hmm. So it's not that he's being bad, but he's more bouncing off the walls. But I'll come to your house and your kids are like sitting with their hands in their laps.
No.
And they're like,
have this weird thing going on.
They're like, hello, that. Father, how was your day?
They don't do none of that.
Dude, they're so well behaved, it gives me the fucking creeps. I tell them not to. It gives me the fucking creeps. When they walk through the house, they duck when they go in front of the TV without thinking about it.
Well, I mean, you don't get in someone's way. That's rude. They're just not being rude.
But it doesn't...
Kids never usually stand in front of the TV.
Dude, mine does
or stand in front of what you're doing. They don't realize where they're at.
In our house is like...
They're just like... You know?
Our house is 2,100 square feet. My son stands in the 1 foot of width directly between me and the TV only.
Yeah.
It's just where he is at all times. I move, he moves with me. He's like my shadow. It's like he only knows to stand in front of the TV. Your kids, like, they can't imagine. They probably have bad necks from, like, turning their head to see the TV because of the angle they have to sit. Hmm. But the weird thing is, if you listen to this, you might think, it's not like you're a dick to them. Hmm. They just know. They just listen. Yeah, they also had a stay-at-home mom their whole life.
Yeah,
that might be part
that's
of it.
What I'm saying. That's a big part of it is, and like she's like not strict, I guess, but I mean she just handles them good, you know.
Yeah, your kids are
when kids are hanging out with random fucking people, they don't know who to listen to.
Yeah.
So when someone does tell them something to do, they kind of.
But it also is the reason that my kid will probably do better in school, like to start
social.
Yeah, but like right off the bat, like your kids aren't as good going into school.
I don't know.
Because my kid has been to like a school, he's at a school now, like a daycare school.
But my son had speech problems and started school when he was 3.
He's been going to school for almost as long as me.
He's 8 and he's been going for 5 years already, yeah.
He should have his doctorate soon.
You know? Except this year, half the year, they all had off because of coronavirus.
Dude, those kids are killing it this year. I saw a kid today, it was like...
My son has, like, of course, better grades now, right?
Yeah, he's just doing his homework.
No,
you're like 5 plus 2.
You can't, yeah. Shit. You can read it to him, but no.
How can you not?
It's insane seeing, like, I mean, I've seen a picture of it, but, because I'm never home, I'm always at work, but, of him doing, like, a video chat or whatever with, like, one of the teachers.
Is it weird?
Yeah, it's, like, it's weird that he's, like, talking to him, and, like they can see him, he can see them, you know what I mean? No.
Because if they are, I was going to say just keep watching. They're going to forget and take their shirt off.
I mean, he might have a couple that look alright, I guess. It's not like he's got older teachers like he has every other year. But I mean, like...
I'm sure all of his teachers are hotter than every teacher I ever had.
The younger teachers are not good teachers, though.
Yeah.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, it's like everything else.
You know,
somebody just started doing something.
They don't have like experience, yeah.
They're probably... idiots. Yeah, it's just like everything else.
Mm-hmm. They're in it for the money.
Well, I mean, they're all in it for the money. Right. It's their job.
You're not in it for the money if you're a teacher.
Dude, they make better.
Well, hold on. They're all
it's a myth that they don't get paid much.
All right, listen to this, though. All right, let's go a little sexist on this. We've never gone sexist on this podcast before. So they're like, all right, waitresses, right? Yeah. And there's waiters, right?
Yeah.
So most wait staff, right, is females.
Yeah.
Because dudes are going to do like harder jobs that make more money, right?
Yeah.
So most teachers are
chicks,
females.
Except the ones that want to fuck the girls.
Because there's like dudes out there that are doing some kind of harder job that makes money.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're all like, teachers need to get paid more. You know, waitresses need to get paid more.
Nobody thinks that.
Yeah, there is. You got to tip your waitress.
Oh,
they only make $2.02 an hour.
Your job
pays
$2 an hour.
You know what I mean?
Yikes.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the only way you get money is if they feel like you're worth it. Because you ain't to me.
Yeah.
You know, when they get hired, that's what it is. Right? I'll pay you $2 to be here every hour. He's like, and by the way, you're only going to be here 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right?
They come to your table, you're like...
He's like from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? So good luck making tips.
When they come to your table, be like, look, I want you to pay extreme attention to my table. Look, I'll double what that guy's paying you. You're there for 20 minutes. You want what, $1.40?
Oh, wow.
You double what their boss pays them.
Oh, shit.
And then you fucking, they're just like, thank you, sir. Scraping up pennies into a fucking hat.
Wow.
Our mom was a waitress.
Yeah.
And I remember, you probably remember her coming home and she would take her apron off and dump it out. We used to think we were rich. We're like on the bed, like doing snow angels and money, but it was all singles. It was like $85 or something.
Nickels and dimes.
Yeah, it was change and shit. And we'd be playing in the money like we're rich. And I remember thinking,
she's like, eh.
I would see Mom's roll because she would take her money and like count it and roll it up. And I'd see that roll, and I'd always think like, why do we live like this if we got that kind of money?
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
We got a thick stack of cash and we're living in this dump.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking roaches are just crawling over you while you're sleeping, and the fucking, you know?
Yeah, she's like, I have 73 ones. She's like, I'm surprised we still live here.
She's like, that I just earned while working a 12-hour shift. Yeah. She's like, don't even do the math, it's embarrassing.
She's like, we live in a duplex, and the other part of it is just owned by roaches. Yeah. Right?
The roaches.
They pay half our rent. They pay half of our rent.
We're renting out our spare room to the roaches. Just so we can until we get back on our feet.
Oh, shit.
I remember one time we were living, I can't remember the place, I was pretty little. I think, but I might be wrong, the place I told a story about recently when I had to take a knife to go out and order the pizza. Mm-hmm. But I remember I was sleeping on the couch and I just woke up. You know how sometimes just something wakes you up? And as soon as I opened my eyes, I'm laying on my back, and there's a roach, like, I mean, the size of a chihuahua is what it seemed. Mm-hmm. And it was going up the wall. And I was watching it, and I just knew. I was like, it's going to fall on me. I just know it will. It could fall anywhere in this house, which granted, the house is probably like 600 square feet. But and I watched it, and right when it got over my head, it fell and fucking landed on my forehead.
No,
it was like I predicted it. It was like I willed it to happen. Oh. And it just landed. I was like, you know, I made that noise that, like, once you make that noise, for the rest of my life, I could be in the middle of fucking a woman, and I'm like, I'm a little gay. I was like, and I, like, knocked the roach off of me. And I never forget.
All that is like nerves. You know what I mean? You're like,
fight or flight is like, it's like, okay, I can't fight because it's a roach. I don't want to touch it. I can't run because I'm, like, twisted up in the cover. So I just, like, turn gay. I think the reason you act gay.
Just turn gay.
I think the reason.
All of a sudden you're walking funny.
I know, but dude, check this out. I think there's evolution to this. I think you have fight or flight, and then your third option is gay, because if you can't fight or get away, you just, like, present your ass to the guy. Like, please just fuck me and don't kill me. So somehow through
you get in the fetal position.
Yeah, so somehow through genetics of, like, letting the tough guy fuck you so he don't kill you, that turned into getting all gay when a roach is on you. Yeah. But here's just, like, so details make the story. And this story is probably close to 30 years old. I slapped the roach off my forehead, and it landed in a pot plant of an ivy sitting on the coffee table right next to me. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't see it. It was like in there somewhere and I couldn't see it. And the rest of the night I was just wide awake, eyes like
watching, because you're like, it's going to come back out.
Just watching that. Meanwhile, there's probably like 40 million roaches behind me all over the wall. But I was watching that pot plant.
With their eyes open.
They're scared of me. But he never left that fucking pot plant.
They always say... what is it?
Roaches are a man's best friend?
No, I was going to say
nobody says so.
They're more scared of you. Roaches are not as scared. They're not afraid of you.
No, because have you ever jumped onto the face of something you're terrified of? No.
You go and stomp, and they go to where the vibration came.
Yeah.
You know?
That roach was like the fucking 101st Airborne in World War II. He just parachuted over my forehead. He was behind enemy lines. If he'd have landed in my mouth, I don't think I would have survived it. I think I would have had a heart attack.
You'd have been gayer.
Yeah. I just start blowing it till that roach juice comes out.
Yeah, you would have swallowed the cockroach.
I don't know if I could have bounced back.
Oh,
because think about it, I was like 8 or 9 or something, and then like so a few years later, it's the first time I like want to ask a girl out, and I'm walking up to her trying to be confident, and in the back of my head I'm like, I'm that fag that had a roach on him. Yeah. No girl will want me. I'm not even gonna ask. You know.
She doesn't know about the roach.
No, but she does.
She went there. Right?
She looks at my clothes. She's like, I bet that kid's had a roach on his forehead.
She's like, I can still see the goo on its forehead.
She's like, he's 8 and he's wearing a Salem Light cigarette shirt to school. Yeah. He lives with roaches. Oh, you know, I have somewhere. I wore a Salem Light cigarette shirt on picture day.
Oh, God.
I gotta find it, dude. I gotta find it and put it up in here. Mom just used to get them because she was a preferred customer. Yeah. And I wore it to school all the time. Because, like, it wasn't, at that time, like, they didn't pay that much attention. Because I remember in high school, people would get in trouble for wearing shirts with, like, you know, different, like, brands on them. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was in, like, junior high or high school, they were like, you can't have something with, like, a skull on it. Why?
Yeah. That's what we're
Skulls
made
exist. If you go into like biology, there's a skull in there.
There's a skull.
Yeah.
The sound of my voice is coming out of a skull to like skull.
What you do? You just put your hand over it, right? You know, like so you're covering.
I remember
your skin over the one on your head.
You probably remember I had a shirt that was orange and it said pimp on it.
Yeah.
So I wore it to school one day. I feel like a fucking dildo for wearing that shirt, but I did.
Yeah.
And I wore it, and like, so like I'm sure everybody was making fun of me because I didn't like.
Was it in high school?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like I was like probably a freshman.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't getting no pussy. I definitely wasn't a pimp.
That wasn't like blue and white or something.
It was
a badass
orange.
Shirt.
It was orange, and it had like it said pimp and like stylized letters. And you know like what a tribal tattoo looks like?
Okay.
It was like that in the background behind.
I remember. I think like you gave it to me or something, and I ended up wearing
Neither one of us should have ever worn it.
No.
But anyway, so I go to school wearing it, and like, oh my god, I feel like my face is hot right now. Remembering, like, I'm embarrassed about this. So I go to school, and I'm sure everybody's making fun of me, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the teacher's like, Jeremy, you got to go to the office. You can't wear that shirt. And I was like, what? I make a big scene, you know, because, you know, Waco. Yeah. So I go to the office, and I remember thinking, like, the teacher's like, Jeremy, you just can't wear that shirt. And then, like, years later, I was thinking back on it. I wonder if she was like, you can't wear that shirt. Yeah. I heard it as
you got written up because
they're like, I mean, what are you doing here, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Like,
she's like, he can, right? Y'all
like,
switch shirts, right?
He's wearing one that says fag.
Yeah.
But it's like wearing a FUBU shirt. It's like, that's not for you. But you know how embarrassing it is that I wore a shirt that says pimp on it?
Yeah.
I didn't like, you know, no girls were into me.
No.
And even the ones who, like, if some girls did, I was so awkward.
They weren't then.
yeah, not that day.
Like, I'm not going to date the guy that had a pimp shirt on.
She's like, I'm not going to have a guy take off a pimp shirt and then fuck me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, trust me, lady, you want me to leave the shirt on or fucking.
Yeah.
But I had no, like, the guys that
no charisma?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I remember that same year, but I was at a different school, so I switched schools like halfway through. I was at this other school, like, I was a school shooter, except for that without the shooting. I know people thought this of me. I didn't have friends. I was awkward. I was through, like, just terrible, like, depressed all the time. And anyway, I was and so at lunchtime, I had no friends at this school. So I would just walk up and down the hall eating a bag of Gardettos. Just sad, dude. Just a fucking piece of shit I was. And I was walking up and down the thing, and this black chick came up to me. And she was, like, kind of pretty. And she was like, she's like, hey, what's your name? And I told her. She's like, you ever have a black girlfriend? And I was like, no. But I probably said, like, no. You know what I mean? I probably said it like that. I don't know. Yeah. Because this was, I mean, you know, I was so shy that just to talk to people, it would, like, I didn't know. It was like it would come out weird and shit. I was all fucking awkward and weird. And I was like, no. And then she's like, oh, okay. And walked off. And it was years later that I realized that if I would have just been, like, said anything. Yeah. She was really pretty. Like, really pretty. She would have been, like, my girlfriend. And I would have been, like, the loser eating the Gardettos, but with a girlfriend. Maybe she saw me with Gardettos and was like, this guy's got money. I'm going to get attached.
Gardettos.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, so that's the guy. And then that same year, sometime during then, I wore a goddamn shirt that said pimp. I was scared to
She's like, whew, dodged a bullet on that one.
She's like,
is he wearing the pimp shirt because I'm black?
Right? Luckily, the pimp thing happened at the other school.
Oh, okay.
Because, there actually, I had more friends and stuff. But still, if you find somebody I went to high school with, even at the other school,
they remember.
Not they remember the pimp shirt, but they'll just say, like, if you ask them about me, they'll be like,
they're like, Jeremy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're the one with the pimp shirt. Like, it was on a Tuesday. They remember that. They barely remember your name. Right?
I mean, but they'll be like, you know, honestly, they'd probably be like surprised I do any kind of comedy thing like this. Like, because I just there's something wrong. My God, I'm walking up in the halls. I'm like, Branch Davidians. You know, it's like the only thing that kept me from being just a complete, like, Columbine motherfucker was probably sport. Like, I played football. So that gave me some kind of like...
Normally those kind of guys don't play sports.
Yeah, exactly. That was but I had to... I think you could have easily went that route too. Because you had the same situation. You switched schools.
Yeah, I got along with people though.
I got along with people too.
Yeah, I mean...
But I was just... You don't have the fucking brain I have either though. You're a little more...
Well, it'd be weird if we shared it. We'd be Siamese brothers.
Connected at the head.
Right?
Yeah, we could save money on microphones. But I think you were more of you knew how to fit it. Like you knew how to get along and fit in and stuff. For me, it's like I just couldn't. The girl comes up and talks to me, and it's just like all I could form was to answer the yes or no question and then stare at the floor. Mm-hmm. I could have fucked. She was hot. I mean, that's how I remember it.
Yeah,
you know,
probably wasn't.
But I mean, she definitely wasn't ugly. She was out of my league, I'm sure. I was a fucking loser.
Like Aunt Jemima, kind of. That's what I'm imagining.
She comes up stirring a pot of grits. She's got the fucking thing around her head. She's like,
it was one of the cafeteria ladies. They know you stole those Gardennas.
She's like, oh, honey, do you ever have a black girlfriend? Yeah. And I'm like, no.
Right. You're like, no?
Yeah, I bet it came off like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the way I was dressed, I just had that, like, racist look, probably.
Yeah.
They misinterpreted
Maybe
me.
she was just doing, like, taking a poll. You know what I mean?
bet it was more like a bet. They're like, you think you've ever had a girlfriend? She's like, I don't want to ask that.
She was doing an essay on
losers
on like 100 white people. How many of them have dated black girls?
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, she wanted to fuck me. Right?
I mean,
really, there's a book out there somewhere where you're like on chapter. You know.
In mine, everybody says yes or no. Mine's no in bold. But no, I mean, it was clear looking back on it that she because it was like there were other times I would see her like see me or like come up towards me and like maybe try to talk, and I was just so fucking like whatever.
Racist.
I was over there like working on the 13th knot of the noose I was making. But no, yeah, she clearly was like trying to like at least if nothing else be my friend, and I was too fucked up. Like I didn't know how to like respond to anything. I had no, you know, and then I got better with that shit, but I still have like, you know, like anxiety stuff and all that. But it's not that bad. If a hot black chick comes up to me now, she's like, "You ever fucked a black girl?" Like, I want to, or whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. But
you're like, no.
It's just
she's like, hold on, the way you said it, it's her, right? Like
she's 30 years later, that pot of grits.
30 years later, you know, she's just like, you know.
Oh, those are the good old days, dude. But you were awkward. It seems like you don't have as many of those kind of stories where
I don't remember them.
Where you were just like a fucking dildo. Where you just feel like, you know how you get those like chills of how fucking embarrassing you were?
Yeah.
I have 1,000 of those stories. It just happened so often.
I was never a dildo.
I wasn't either. That I'm not getting anywhere near pussy, black, white, or otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. So please go and however you're listening to this, like, subscribe, find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. We started putting them on YouTube now. So.
Yeah, this is a weird platform on the internet where you can watch videos.
Apparently, it's some video.
But anyways, like, subscribe, share, please.
If you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you are the bad vibe.